Indeed, thanks having me on the show. And the parameter is not looking that bad. However, we are facing a rather difficult, as you know, new build housing segment, which is sluggish. We were down last year about 35% overall in Europe, and will be down a little bit this year because the first half is going to be difficult. But we all hope that the second half of the year will be a little better because interest rates have not risen so far, and we see inflation coming down sharply.
Interesting your comment about interest rates. I'll go to the margin comment. We're showing on the bottom of the screen that your EBITDA, I beg your pardon, was 25.5%, so an improvement there as well. So long gone are the days, Heimo, when you used to tell me that a kilo of potatoes cost more than a kilo of bricks then, yeah?
Well, you know, we were talking about London, and I'm afraid, my friend, it's still the case, because in the inner parts of London where you do your shopping, it's still more expensive, the kilo or the pound of potato to the pound of the brick.
Yeah, that difficulty you're seeing, Heimo, good morning to you, that softening in that underlying market in 2023, I mean, does that continue this year? Again, you made note of those interest rates then. There's an anticipation that goes lower. Inflation drops off considerably as well. Does the spending increase in this year?
Well, you see, in our building markets, we tend to have a 6 months to 10 months delay. When obviously the interest rate holds at a certain level, the companies and the businesses such adjusts. You don't have an upswing immediately. You have this about 6 months later. So we are going into this year with less permits, with less projects. But I'm confident that, especially in new residential housing, where the markets are very weak and where we have huge pent-up demands around Europe, will slightly pick up in the second half of this year.
Yeah, and cost inflation then to your business then, how do you see things within your own supply chains? Are you seeing cost rises?
We see slight cost rises, not as much as we did the last 2 years. We foresee more or less about 3 to 5% in certain areas of the business. Keep in mind that, however, on the wage side, we have still some steep increases because wages have been up, especially in Central Eastern Europe.
Heimo, we haven't talked about the US yet, and I just noticed that actually you're talking about the sluggish market environment there as well. Revenues in 2023 coming off fairly significantly from your 2022 figure. How tough is that US market?
Well, you see also here, new residential housing has been suffering because of the high interest rates. The demand level is high, but a lot of companies, especially the big tract builders, have not built so many houses because obviously here the demand and the financing especially was an issue. But again, also here, I think with this easing out on the interest rate side, we will see a stronger demand level coming later this year. It has been a difficult year. However, if you look at our margins in the US, and especially after the integration of the Meridian business, and therefore the stronger exposure of Wienerberger altogether in North America, Canada, and the US, we have seen a very strong margin in this part of the business.
Heimo, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Terreal acquisition was over a year ago that was announced originally. You're talking about it and the benefits of it, and I've just been back on the Terreal website looking at those lovely integrated panels in the roofing and what have you. It's very interesting. And A, you're very happy with that. B, that's a segment of the market obviously you want to see more growth in, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely, because roofing is also a lot of exposure to renovation. And you know that the European Green Deal is focusing immensely on the renovation of the old housing stock and especially the roofing in Europe. And also integrating photovoltaic is a big issue here. So we are very well positioned. And I'm glad to announce also to you now this morning that I'm confident that we will sign the deal finally by the end of this month, because all the authorities will give their approval. So I think here we are in good shape and we can start the integration process as of next month.